In the months that followed, humans across alien worlds continued to change. They learned faster, moved faster, thought faster. Alien teachers were confused. "We never expected this kind of progress," they said.
Their brains are adapting.
"Faster than our machines can measure." But it was more than just learning. The humans were growing stronger. Their bodies were reacting to alien food, alien gravity, alien tech, and evolving. A quiet fear started spreading among the alien leaders. Some wanted to stop the human program, but others still believed in peace. On the world of Veltrax, an alien scientist invited the top minds of the Unity for a private meeting. "I've seen what these humans can do," he said. "They are not what we thought. They are not fragile. They are not calm. They're becoming something we cannot predict." Another alien laughed. "What do you suggest? That they'll take over the galaxy?"
No.
The room went silent. Before anyone could speak, the lights flickered. Then the screens went black. One word appeared on every device, every wall, every screen in the room: APEX. Suddenly, all systems shut down. Security bots dropped offline. Doors locked. The meeting ended in panic. They had been warned. Back on Virelia, Daniel stood in front of a small human gathering. He placed a hand on a Varnock energy console, and it obeyed his command. He smiled. "They built all this, but now it listens to us." The others watched in silence as the alien lights, drones, and machines responded to Daniel's voice like he was one of their own. "How?" one human asked. Daniel turned to him. "Because we learn, we adapt, we survive. That's what humans are. Weren't built to follow," he raised his voice. "We were built to become the apex." Cheers echoed in the underground chamber. That night, messages were sent to every hidden human across the stars. Simple, coded, and clear. Phase 2 begins. In the shadows. The Apex network went live. It was a secret digital web that connected all enhanced humans across alien systems. The aliens didn't even know it existed. They began sharing blueprints, data, alien weaknesses, and hidden truths. Each Apex member had a mission: blend in, learn everything, and wait for the command. On the planet Xyloth, human engineer Alina, Miles built a stealth device that could make her invisible for minutes at a time. On Drexel Station, the boy Milo created a virus that could shut down an entire city's power grid with one word. And on Virelia, Daniel crafted something no alien had ever seen: a device that could reprogram alien machines, using just a human's thoughts. The aliens kept watching. They didn't see the storm forming. Not yet. One day, a top alien general named Zarok Null went missing. His ship vanished during a simple inspection mission. His last message was short: "There's something wrong with the humans. They're not what we think." He was never found, but in a deep cave on Virelia. Daniel held the general's access chip in his hand. The Apex had begun its silent war. No killing. Not yet. But they were taking control, system by system. Back in the council chambers of the Galactic Unity, fear was now real. What if we made a mistake? One leader asked, another replied, "Maybe it's not too late. Maybe we can stop them." But it was too late. Because Daniel's next words, spoken through the Apex network, were, "No more hiding, no more waiting. The galaxy will soon learn. Humans are not the visitors. We are the future." The Galactic Unity still didn't know the full danger. Some alien leaders thought humans were just evolving quickly. Others believed the strange signs were small accidents. But one alien wasn't so sure. His name was Dr. Zeltan, a historian from the Varnock race. He didn't care about politics or science. He cared about truth, and something about humans felt wrong. "We call them simple," he told the Varnock Science Council. "But what if we are the ones who are blind?" They laughed at him. So Zeltan began his own secret research. He traveled to Earth alone, on a private ship. Officially, he was there for study. In truth, he wanted to understand the past. He visited old ruins, war museums, and human history centers. What he found shocked him. He saw photos of world wars, cities destroyed by fire and bombs. He watched old human news, videos of missiles, revolutions, nuclear weapons, and machines of death. He read about chemical weapons, brainwashing, spy tech, and black projects hidden under deserts and oceans. He found files deep in Earth's archives about human experiments, tests to push the body past its limits, soldiers trained to kill with silence, children raised without fear to become perfect weapons, and then found the file on Project Apex, a failed Earth experiment long shut down by human governments. It was meant to create the ultimate survivor, a being that could think faster, learn faster, adapt to anything, and lead others to do the same. One name was redacted, blacked out from all records, but one blurry image remained. A teenage boy with cold eyes, Zeltan, froze. He recognized the face. It was Daniel Voss, Zeltan. Rushed back to his ship and sent a secret message to the Unity Council. But the message never reached them because by then, the Apex network had already hacked the Unity's communication grid. Daniel saw the message, deleted it. But he didn't stop there. That same night, 3 alien outposts across 3 planets lost power. Robotic. Guards shut down. Data centers were wiped. Human workers were missing. Truth, they were no longer workers. They were now commanders in the Apex Order. Back on Varelia, the Varnock Council called Daniel in for a quiet meeting. One elder asked, "Why do our systems respond to you now?" Another added, "Why are humans accessing tech not meant for their kind?" Daniel looked calm. "I thought you trusted us," he said. "We did," said Elder Wren. "But now we're afraid." Daniel stood slowly. "Good," he said. "Fear means you finally understand." The lights flickered. Security doors locked. The Varnock stood up in panic. "What is this?" Daniel stepped into the shadows. A quiet voice echoed through the room. "We trusted you first. You saw us as pets, projects, tools, but humans. We don't stay in cages. We break them." The lights came back on. Daniel was gone, on a distant asteroid station. Apex agents began building something, not a weapon, but a signal tower. A device that could send one message across the entire galaxy. The message would be simple. We are here, we are awake, and we will never bow again. In the Varnock archives, Dr. Zeltan uploaded one last personal log before vanishing. Humans are not like us. They do not follow the rules of the galaxy. They create their own. They are evolution's wild card. We let them in. We thought they needed us. But now, we need them to show mercy. In the deep silence of space, hundreds of alien worlds had formed a great alliance called the Galactic Unity. For thousands of years, powerful alien races ruled the stars. They fought wars, made peace, and built cities that floated above planets. But there was one small blue planet they had ignored, Earth. Aliens had watched humans for a long time. They saw humans fight each other, destroy forests, and make weapons. Most alien leaders thought humans were weak and dangerous. Varnock, a peaceful alien race, believed different. They said, "Let's give them a chance. Maybe they can help us." So, they sent ships to Earth. They spoke with human governments and asked for volunteers to work in alien worlds. Many were scared, but some agreed. One of them was a young man named Daniel Voss. Daniel was quiet, smart, and calm. He had no family, no big dreams, and nothing to lose. The Varnock brought him to their planet Varelia, a place of shining towers and floating gardens. They gave him simple work, learning alien systems, fixing machines, and helping with data. At first, Daniel was just another human. The aliens gave him tools and watched as he worked. To their surprise, he learned their tech very fast. 3 days, Daniel was solving problems that even Varnock engineers couldn't fix. "How is this possible?" asked Elder Wren, one of the Varnock leaders. "He is gifted," said another. "Or maybe humans are smarter than we thought." But Daniel wasn't just smart, he was curious. Late at night when others slept, he walked through restricted areas. Cameras caught nothing. Systems never showed alerts. It was like he was invisible. One night, Varnock scientist Talo Rin stayed late in the research center. He heard footsteps in the hallway. Strange, because everyone had gone home. He checked. The monitor, nothing. But the sound was real. He stood up and walked toward the noise. Down the hallway, he saw a shadow move fast, faster than any Varnock could. Tallow's hand shook. He whispered, "Who's there?" Suddenly Daniel appeared from the darkness. He looked calm, even friendly. "You shouldn't be here," Tallow said. Daniel smiled. "Just exploring. Couldn't sleep. But this is a restricted zone." Daniel nodded. "And maybe you should lock your doors better." And just like that, he walked past Tallow, silent and smooth, like a ghost. The next day, Tallow reported what he saw. But the leaders didn't believe him. "Maybe you were tired," said Elder Wren. "Humans can't move like that." Wasn't so sure anymore. Later that week, a large alien ship from another system had engine failure above Varelia. None of the Varnock engineers could fix it. The ship began falling from the sky. Its panic spread. Daniel stepped forward. "Let me." "Try," he said. The Varnock hesitated, but they were desperate. Daniel entered the control room. In 2 minutes, he typed alien codes the engineers didn't even recognize. He rerouted power, restored balance, and brought the ship down safely without a scratch. Cheers erupted.
Out.
Daniel had saved hundreds of lives. "He's a hero," said Elder Wren. They gave Daniel a medal. Alien news broadcasts called him the human gift. Other races took notice. They asked for humans to come to their worlds too, but none of them knew Daniel's secret. That night, he stood on the roof of the research center. Stars above, wind in his face. A small device in his hand lit up. He spoke into it. "Phase 1 complete. They trust me now." The voice replied, broken and static. "Good. The others are ready. Soon they will all know what humans truly are." Daniel smiled, not with joy, but with purpose. The galaxy had opened its doors. They thought they had invited a helper. They didn't know. It let in a predator. Daniel Voss had become a hero on the alien world of Varelia. The Varnock treated him with great respect. Other humans were now being brought to different alien planets too. The Galactic Unity believed humans could be trained, guided, maybe even protected. But they were wrong. Daniel had already begun his true mission. He was not just one man. He was the first step, the spark to wake the sleeping storm in secret. Daniel sent out encrypted messages across alien space. The messages were not in Varnock code or in any alien language. They were old Earth war codes, understood only by a special kind of human. Those humans, spread across various planets now, received the same message. "We are not here to serve. We are here to remember who we are." Across the galaxy, strange things began to happen. On the planet Azera, a human miner named Carolyn lifted a boulder 10 times her size to save trapped workers. Alien doctors were shocked. "Impossible," they said. "Her body shouldn't do that." On Drexel Station, a quiet human boy named Milo hacked into a closed alien defense system without using tools, just his mind and a touchscreen. On Varelia. What? Daniel walked into a restricted alien vault. The door scanned him and opened. Even though it was built only for Varnock DNA, inside, he found an old alien artifact. It glowed when he touched it, as if it had been waiting for him. Elder Wren was confused. "This technology is millions of years old," he whispered. "Why does it respond to a human?" Daniel smiled, but gave no answer. Later that day, the Varnock scientists ran more tests on Daniel's blood. What they found scared them. "His body is changing," said one. "It's adapting, growing stronger. Faster, smarter, like it's learning from us. It's becoming something new." But the Varnock kept it quiet. They didn't want the rest of the galaxy to panic. They should have. One night, Daniel gathered a group of 6 humans in a quiet part of the Varelian forest. The stars shined above them. A small campfire burned between them. They sat in silence. Then Daniel finally spoke. "You all feel it, don't you?" They nodded. "The galaxy thinks we're weak. They think we need saving. But we are not here to be saved. We are here to become." He stepped forward and lifted his hand. A small orb of alien tech hovered in the air. It responded to his voice. "In just weeks, we've learned to control their machines. In time, We will control their world. Because he looked each of them in the eyes. We are the apex. We are what nature made when it wanted something. That could never be ruled. Silence. Then Carolyn spoke. What happens now? Daniel answered without blinking. Now, we wait. We grow. And when the moment is right, we remind them what Earth truly is. The home of the apex predator. Meanwhile, across the stars, alien leaders were growing curious and nervous. Why are humans adapting so fast? One asked. Are we training? Allies, another whispered. Or awakening monsters. Some said it was nonsense. Just evolution. Just luck. But deep down, fear was beginning to grow. Because something in their ancient history warned them of this. A time when a small, forgotten species would rise and take the stars by force. They just didn't know. It's that time had already begun. The galaxy had grown quiet. Too quiet. Alien leaders held emergency meetings. Systems were crashing. AI was behaving strangely. Human workers were disappearing without warning. They didn't know the truth. The Apex Order had started the hunt. But they weren't killing anyone. Not yet. Instead, they were taking control. One system. One base. One secret at a time. On the planet Veltrax, a high-security weapons facility lost all communication. When the alien guards entered, they found every weapon gone, every file erased, and on the wall, single human handprint glowing with blue light. On Drexel Station, 3 alien generals were preparing a military response. But their ship never launched. Its engine had been dismantled by Milo, the quiet human boy. He stood in the control room as alarms screamed. "Don't try to run," he said softly. "It's over." And then he vanished. Across dozens of worlds, the Apex agents moved like shadows. They disabled fleets, stole research, locked down AI defense systems. The aliens began to panic. "We need to strike now," shouted one leader. But another whispered, "Strike what? Don't even know where they are." Till they finally understood. They had let the predator inside their home. Back on Varelia. Daniel stood on a tall tower overlooking the city of Varnock. Messenger arrived in fear. "Daniel. Why are you doing this?" Daniel didn't answer right away. He looked at the sky. Then he said, "You gave us your knowledge, your technology, your cities." He turned and faced the messenger. "But you never gave us respect." The messenger fell silent. Daniel walked past him. "We won't destroy you. That's not the plan." "Then what is?" the alien asked. Daniel stopped. "We'll show you who really belongs at the top." Later that day, a group of alien assassins were sent to kill Daniel. They were the best, fast, silent, deadly, but they never returned. Their last transmission was a scream, followed by silence. The footage showed a blur of movement, and then darkness. Alien experts watched it in fear. One whispered that wasn't a man. Another said it was something else, something better. In the shadows of a dead moon, a secret Apex facility came online. Inside, human engineers were building something powerful, a new kind of ship. Not alien, not human, something beyond both. Faster, smarter, alive. A ship built for one purpose, to hunt the stars. Meanwhile, on Earth, the government stayed silent. They knew what was happening. They always knew. A message was sent from a secret Earth base to Daniel. "The galaxy feared us for the wrong reasons. Show them the right ones." Daniel replied with one word. "Understood." The Apex network expanded. More humans joined. Some were born on Earth. Others were born in space. But all of them shared one thing now. A clear mission. A united mind. And a belief: we are not invaders. We are evolution. And across the galaxy, alien worlds looked to the stars and prayed that the predators they had welcomed in would show mercy when they came. The Apex Order was no longer a secret. Across the galaxy, their message had been felt in lockdown systems. hijacked fleets and quiet takeovers. But the galaxy still didn't understand the full truth, they thought. Daniel Voss was just a smart human, a leader, a threat. They were wrong. Daniel was never just human. Long ago on Earth, before aliens arrived, a secret project was launched deep under the ice in Antarctica. It was called Project Apex Mind. Its goal, to connect the thoughts of elite human minds using advanced tech to create one living network of memory, strategy, and intelligence. The experiment failed, or so they thought. Only one subject survived, Daniel. But he didn't just survive. He absorbed the knowledge of all the others, scientists, soldiers, hackers, historians, all of them. Inside him, he left Earth without permission. Following the signal of alien contact, the humans who sent him knew one thing. Once he reached the stars, nothing would ever be the same. Now, hidden deep within a mountain on Varelia, Daniel stood. Before a glowing chamber, it pulsed with energy, a fusion of alien tech and Earth hardware. Around him stood other Apex agents. Watching silently, Daniel stepped forward and placed his hand on the core. The chamber lit up, one by one, each Apex member's mind linked into the same stream through implants, DNA tech, and pure will. They became one. One thought, one plan, one voice. The Apex Mind was born. Across the stars, alien tech began reacting. Ships turned off. Drones stopped responding. Entire AI. Networks dropped offline. The Apex didn't need control panels anymore. They could now control systems. With thought alone, on Xyloth Prime. An alien fleet tried to launch a surprise attack, but their ships never took off. In the command room, screens went black. A message appeared. You're already too late. Then every ship's weapons turned inward. One commander whispered, How? How can they do this? No one had an answer. Back in the Galactic Council, panic exploded. They're reading our strategies before we even speak them. One alien shouted. They've become one mind, another said, trembling. They see everything we do. No, said the Varnock elder slowly. They don't just see it, they understand it better than we do. Meanwhile, Daniel sat quietly in a garden on Varelia. A small Varnock child approached him. Not knowing who he was, the child smiled and asked, Are you a hero? Daniel looked at the stars. He replied softly, That depends on who's telling. The story. In the hidden Apex base, new plans were already being drawn, not for war, but for something even greater. Rebuilding star systems. Rewriting broken laws. Replacing the Unity's weak leadership. Designing a new order. With humans at the center, they weren't just fighting back. They were taking over evolution itself. And the final message sent through the Apex Mind, to the minds of every connected human, was clear. We are not many. We are one. We are the future of this galaxy, or the Apex Mind. The Apex Mind had grown too strong. Alien systems fell one by one, not through war, but through control. It's quiet, smooth, unstoppable. Some alien races surrendered. Others joined willingly, hoping to survive the coming change, but not all. There was one last group, the oldest, proudest empire in the galaxy. The Krell Dominion. They had ruled for 10,000 years. Their fleets were massive. Their weapons ancient and deadly. They believed no human could ever beat them. From their war world, Drukar. The Krell gathered their full force, 400 warships, 30,000 soldiers, AI weapons banned by most species. Their leader, Lord Shakar, gave one order. Find the Apex. Crush them. Burn their name from history. His generals cheered, but none of them knew. The Apex had already seen this coming. On Varelia, Daniel stood calmly in a white room, watching live feeds of the Krell fleet. He turned to Kara Lynn and said, They're finally moving, Kara asked. Do we fight? Daniel shook his head. We let them make their move. Then we remind them what we are. As the Krell fleet entered Apex-controlled space, strange things happened. Their ships lost contact with command. Their maps showed false data. Their own drones turned against them. Confused, they tried to reboot systems, but it was already too late. One by one, the Krell ships stopped moving, then their weapons aimed inward, not by command, but by hacked. Thought-channels. Panic filled the fleet. "Shut it down," shouted one commander. "I can't," screamed another. "We've lost control." On the Apex side, not a single shot was fired. No ships launched, no soldiers moved. Daniel simply watched and waited. Then he spoke a single word through the Apex mind. "Now." From hidden moons, Apex ships rose. But these were not alien ships. They were human-designed. Alien-enhanced, sleek, silent, alive. They circled the frozen Krell fleet and sent one message. "You brought war. We brought evolution. Choose now, submission or extinction." On Drukar, High Lord Shakar refused to answer. So Daniel sent a final gift, a data stream of every Krell war crime, open to the entire galaxy. Within hours, our allies turned away. Their history became their shame. And when Shakar finally replied, his voice was soft. "We surrender. We accept the Apex." Daniel didn't smile. He only said, "Now you understand." Later that night, in a quiet room, Daniel met with the Varnak elders. One elder said, "You could have destroyed them. Why didn't you?" Daniel looked out the window, because power without purpose is just chaos. He turned back. "We don't want to rule with fear. We want to build something better." In the shadows of space, the last resistance had ended. The old powers were gone. The Apex didn't win by force. They won because they were prepared for everything and across the stars. A new phrase began to spread in whispers. The humans are no longer rising. They've already risen. The galaxy was quiet now. No more attacks. No more resistance. The Apex had taken control, not through fire or blood, but through mind, planning, and perfect timing. For the first time in history, the galactic unity had no leader, because the new leader was human. Daniel Voss stood in the Hall of Stars, once the Galactic Council's central chamber. Now was filled with representatives from over 300 alien species. They all looked toward him, not with hatred and respect. Daniel raised his voice. "You feared humans? You saw our past, the wars, the violence, the fire?" He paused. "But you never saw what we truly are." Behind him, a holoscreen showed Earth's history. The first humans to sail. Oceans, the builders of great cities, survivors of wars, the dreamers who reached the stars. He continued, "We are not monsters. We are what happens when a species refuses to die. We are what the universe creates when it needs a fighter." He looked around the chamber. "The Apex Order will not rule by force," Daniel said. "We will build, we will teach, we'll protect. But if anyone ever tries to enslave another species again," his eyes grew colder, "we will return and remind them why we were feared in the first place." Silence filled the room. No one spoke, no one moved, because every being in that room finally understood. The Apex was not a mistake. It was the next step. On the outer edges of the galaxy, a few alien colonies still tried to hide. They whispered among themselves, "We should have left Earth alone. We should never have trusted them. Finally, we should never have brought them into the stars." But it was too late. That day would be remembered forever. The day aliens regretted trusting humans. The day the Apex revealed its truth. The day the galaxy changed forever. In a quiet corner of Varelia, a young alien child asked Daniel, "Are we safe now?" Daniel looked up at the stars. "As long as no one forgets who we are, yes." And far above, a new beacon pulsed across. The stars, built by humans, guarded by Apex, a simple message, sent in every language: "We are humanity. We were never your enemy, but we will always be." The Apex.